Broken pieces. Right. So let's see what this is all about. Subtitles enabled, of course. Subtitle language. You don't happen to have Danish, do they? I think so. I think it's fine. Select your game experience. Combat reduced. Reduces only the combat difficulty. This mode will focus your experience on exploration, narration, and puzzles. Original, you'll enjoy the complete game experience conceived by the developers. I'm going with that. I mean, I do play these kinds of games for exploration, narration, and puzzles, but I want to play the game as originally intended. Okay, so you can both use fixed and shoulder? That's pretty cool. Resident Evil could learn from that. I mean, not with the fixed camera angle, but, you know, with Resident Evil Village, where... how long after the full game did they release the third-person add-on? Use fixed camera angles inspired by the experience offered by 90s survival horror games. I mean, I wouldn't mind playing it that way at some point, but I want to go with over the shoulders. I want to go with shoulder first. Use an over the shoulder camera, more typical of modern action adventure games. And something about sitting on benches.
I can't take the suit. You will need it too. I don't feel right. Stay with me.
Okay.
I see it now. We were all so entertained. We didn't see what was getting ready in the shadow. Leave them alone. looks like scientific documents, but I can't decipher what's written. This nightmare again. Damn. When dust settles on your sport trophies, it doesn't mean you are getting younger. Completely locked. I miss listening to Pierre. He always used crazy effects on his guitar. Pierre's tape collection. Insomnia will be a nice excuse to put it in order. Might even find some of the music he made for me. I could use the comforting.
I used to have a record holder like that one. I mean, not like that one, not carved out of tree. I mean, it was made out of wood, but not like a cat figure. But it was only able to hold about as many as this one. Nowadays, I mean, I don't collect the CDs anymore because I use my MP3 player, but that's just another thing that reminds me of a simpler time where I wasn't such a hoarder / collector. Okay, so something about a guy named Pierre who likes playing music. I mean, spoiler alert: the back of the box says something about him being her boyfriend, fiance, something like that. But I don't believe we have heard that mentioned yet. Seriously, girl. Don't you have other shirts like than that? You are dirty as hell. Huh. I thought it was an apartment for some reason. No, it's a fully fledged house.
Where are you going, Elise? I can't leave without my tape player.
That's actually a pretty cool effect. Like when you check something, it makes that effect you just saw.
You come with me, my friend. It would get lonely without you.
Tape player. My music journals. Suleiman Le Premier. Is it French? Make some karaoke music.
1, 2. 1, 2. That works? Okay. Damn machine. I'm finally starting to understand what's going on here with the electricity. A priori, everything revolves around the lighthouse. I consulted many old newspapers, and the Village Gazette told me that St. Exil was very poorly served by electricity and regularly suffered severe power cuts. I knew that it was a very isolated village, which is what makes it so charming, but I hadn't thought of that. Half of the articles in the Gazette are devoted to the inhabitants who, tired of the cuts, ended up installing small wind turbines for their homes. The other half is about the lighthouse, and that's where it gets interesting. I read that the mayor of the village had installed underwater turbines connected to the building, which are capable of producing electricity thanks to the movement of the sea. This has enabled the village to gain autonomy and to overcome the failures of the general electrical network. Anyway, I think it would be worth going to take a look at the lighthouse, because if the turbine system is damaged, it could explain why some electrical equipment is out of order while others are still working. I'll tell you what I found. Fourth day that I'm stuck. I'm not gonna make it, Pierre. They terrify me. I don't know what to do. They hunt me like an animal. They have taken on a human form, but there is nothing human about them. They come out of nowhere without you expecting it and materialize in a kind of elusive black vapor. I can't do anything against them. I don't know how to fight them. I found a weapon, but I'm struggling to use it, and I'm always out of bullets. There's even more of them at night. They swarm like cockroaches. I have to shut myself up at home as soon as night falls. And they prevent me from leaving this cursed village, Pierre. As soon as I try to leave St. Exil, they arrive by the thousands and they get me. If they catch me, I wake up in my bed and it's been hours, maybe even a whole day. I'm their prisoner. I would like to tell you about the bracelet you gave me right after we arrived here. You found that gem on the beach and crafted it into this beautiful piece of jewelry. You told me that you felt that this pebble had something special, that it radiated. Well, you were right, you know. He protects me from the monsters I told you about. If I smack it against the ground, it produces a shock wave that violently repels ghosts. Sometimes, he can even dissolve them when they attack me. He is so strong that I decided to name him Rocky, since it's a rock. But Rocky is also a sensitive guy, you know? He doesn't like explosive noises. If I shoot a gun in his ear, he can even start a thunderstorm. At that moment, I feel transported to another reality, to another time. Once calm returns, I have the impression that it only lasted a few seconds, whereas about 15 minutes had actually passed. Better tease sparingly. Sometimes I feel like he's almost alive. He gets lazy at the end of the day, especially if I made him work a lot. But, hey, nothing a good night's sleep can't fix. Anyway, all that to say that he reminds me a bit of you. It's probably silly, but I feel like you're watching over me through him. And that helps me hold on.
So this is all telling us about gameplay mechanics?
I can't take this dream anymore. I wake up in this dusty tunnel-shaped cave. It is essentially made up of some kind of light-absorbing rocks, like the ones the insides of a planet would create. I go through this hallway and come across the ghosts that haunt me. But this time they don't try to catch me. There are also military and scientific equipment. I can't tell if they are studying or planning to attack something. A sheet of heavy smoke waits for me at the end, and it's too thick to see behind, and I'm attracted like a moth is to light. The closer I get to the exit, the more I hear ringing, until I realize it's my alarm, and I wake up like nothing happened, and at the same exact hour as usual, 8 a.m. If somebody finds this journal, gone nuts apparently. Do what you want with that information, or shove it somewhere warm.
Alright, that's what we just experienced.
My life turned into an item. Round and round we go, stuck at the same track. It's so dusty here. I could use a vacuum to clean the vacuum.
Straight to the past instead of back to the future. Michael J. Hound, Christopher P. Floyd. Yeah, pretty obvious.
Maybe later.
Don't come to me if you gotta pee while out adventuring. Oh, right, gotta brush our teeth.
It's good to keep some rituals. Dear toothpaste, you are breathtaking. I could use a good shower. When this feeling of being observed will stop.
You could use a clean shirt is what you could. Are we going up on the roof?
Pierre's special mess room. I can't believe one can own so many trinkets. I remember he got stuck once when the electricity shut down in the city.
Much better. Camera felt so heavy before. I mean, I would I would also wish that, you know, this is her walking speed when I only slightly tilt the analog stick, and by only I don't even have to tilt it that much before she goes into her running animation. I can't do anything about that. Camera sensitivity. Doesn't seem like it. Ah. I'll live, as long as the camera is better now. Dude, take out the plates. Scraps, useful to create ammunition. Do I have an inventory?
Forgot I found this old journal around town yesterday. Apparently they installed a secondary generator in the old lighthouse years ago. The extra current could help me out in my search for the other inhabitants. Let's check it out today. I can't believe we moved with all these books. The worst part is, we most likely have doubles.
That's me with DVDs. I don't keep track of what I have and what I don't have, so sometimes I accidentally buy doubles.
I know I can always find the things I leave in here.
At night, objects from which HQ ammo can be crafted will be used up to produce some. Huh? Oh, inventory is open, and I have to hold it.
If I get you back, I'll let you have the remote. I promise.
Alright, the game takes place in 1990.
After each storm, all you have to do is stoop to collect wood. Free heating. It's locked. Another undeniable friend. Would be easy to get lost without it.
Notepad. Objectives: shed light on the lighthouse. Go to the Saint Exo lighthouse. lighthouse, gather my belongings. So we are going straight for the lighthouse. I like that. No, I swear I didn't just buy this game because it has a lighthouse on the
A
front
little
cover.
perfection for the road. Since the day of the attack, I stopped counting. Not sure it matters anyway.
I am wondering though, what is going on? Something about attacks and ghosts and... I mean... We are obviously starting the story right in the middle of something.
I forgot it was here. Well, now I can clean the first one.
It's a gun holster. And a chick side pack. It's actually a pretty cool fanny pack. And yes, I am a fan of fanny packs. I think it's I don't know why, I just think it's cool to have a backpack that is resting on your hip.
I left my gun in the shanty yesterday. Time to get it back. Training first. It's probably dry now.
Useful for creating ammunition.
Without you, I wouldn't stand a second out there. Last time was very close. I need to keep up with my training.
Can't I do anything with?
The former owner had to do a lot of tinkering to screw up such a mess.
So it's a homemade shooting range? Well, it's still... Oh, it is in my holster. Oh. can't seem to use it yet. Targeting with the pistol, aim L2, switch target R. Fire R2, change ammo. Reload.
Good to go. And the last one. Now, let's warm up for some dodging. With all these storms, the previous tenant didn't know what to do with all the wood coming out of fallen trees. Okay, I'm ready. Better be faster. Now, rappel training. Next time, you will think twice about getting in my safe space. I'm glad this thing recharges during the night. Training's over. Getting out there seems a little bit less scary now.
But what's in here?
Can't open without more stable electricity. Nothing interesting in this old garage anyway.
You say that. Right. Since I can't redo the training, I'll just take her word for it that I'm ready. Graphics are pretty.
Ne m'oublie pas.
Okay.
Mange un grand bol de spécial crabs avant et après être à la Vélina.
Even speaks French.
Mange au moins 5 fruits et légumes par jour, entre 2 bols de spécial crabs.
This watch creeps me out.
Almost makes me want to switch the voice acting to French for a more authentic experience, and then just have the subtitles be English. But I get the feeling this game is gonna be pretty combat heavy, so I'd rather have it in English so that I can hear what is being said. Because, spoiler alert, I don't speak French. I can recognize French, but I don't
The
speak
access is
it.
condemned at the top. I love the atmosphere of the streets of the village with this staging. Too bad this is now linked to where my nightmare started.
What is that? Ah, right. Sitting on benches. Saves the game. not just locked, but completely locked.
I better be home before the night. Left, the White Manor and the lighthouse. La Vieille Chaloupe, restaurant and brewery. Fresh fish straight from the port. I sure hope the products are fresher than this poster. Nah, nothing of interest in these cars. Thomas Levins. Fixing pipes is all right. Now try with my life. When things get back to normal, you'll have plenty to do, my friend.
Again, starting in media res, I really would like to know what the hell is going on here. Travel to the lighthouse will take 1 hour and 10 minutes. So it actually is taking the time of day seriously. I would like to go back and see what was in the other direction, but I get the feeling I'll be back there anyway.
You again! Learn your lesson. Completely locked. At the edge of this cliff stands the famous flower house of St. Exel. It was given by its owner to the village, which still contributes to maintaining the quality of its gardens. Still inhabited, the building is regularly open for heritage events. Apparently someone was moving when everything stopped. This door has no handle. When you care for plants, time flies. I wish it was that simple. Left, the White Manor and the lighthouse. Right, St. Exel. In a different scenario, I would have stayed here for hours with a book. You have to admit, the view is quite nice.
Okay, so there are multiple of those. Okay. Never said the game was perfect. But yes, so like there are multiple of those pillars or whatever they are.
The lighthouse. I'm getting closer.
Oh, that lighthouse. That's one puny lighthouse. But who am I to judge? I shouldn't be the first one to talk about things being puny.
This door can be unlocked from the other side.
How can you tell?
The village really isn't investing in its infrastructure, and storms make it even more problematic.
Whatever will I do?
This tree was marked to be felled. It could make a nice bridge. It's hurt, but that won't be enough. A storm could help.
Ah, so time to use the bracelet. Seriously?
It doesn't seem to have awakened them.
Ah! There we go. Well, she did talk about how the bracelet's power worked, and that if she fires a shot close to it, it will start a storm.
Psilocybe phosphorus, recognizable by its phosphorescent dress. It made its appearance a short time ago in the region of St. Exel. With its lightning growth capacity, it is able to grow in a single day. Ripe, they can be enjoyed by some coastal birds. Interesting. Maybe I should gather some of these. Hope the police will not catch me with these shrooms.
Mushroom, but shiny. Throwing an item. Ah, so literally throw it if I don't need it anymore.
This door can be unlocked from the other side. This road seems to lead to the White Manor. Ugh, too bad I don't have change for these tourist traps. I can still picture the fishermen landing their daily catch of crabs and fish. I think I'm going to need a lever. Le Scale, Sailor's Aperitif. Available in all grocery stores. I hate this drink.
Everyone's a critic.
buoy clearly defines what St. Exel is. A small, isolated fishing village where time seems slowed down or even frozen. A usually calm place where the haunting sound of the waves punctuates your day.
She got all of that out of that.
Left, Pointe du Mal. Right, St. Exel's village. Straight ahead, L'Écran. Happy to see some boats were spared by these mad cultists. This door requires electricity. Someone stole the circuit breaker. Facing the lighthouse named L'Écran. The lighthouse was built in 1835, a veritable directional beacon for the sailors of the coast of St. Exel. It was nonetheless decommissioned in 1983. It is only in 1988 that L'Écran was put in service again, welcoming a hydraulic generator that supplies the village. Like someone just came for this incredible spectacle and forgot his bicycle. But these things were not here before the attack. Access to the top of the lighthouse is condemned.
It would be easy to climb the rail, the rail and get on those stairs.
Fred, why did you have to be so grim?
We're descending. We're descending the lighthouse.
So, this is where the electricity of St. Exel is largely generated. The turbine shouldn't be too far. Looks like a lot of security for simple maintenance equipment.
Maybe 1835. reconnect the doors.
This is a complete mess. It's like they pushed everything to the side to make room for something else. It automatically locked the doors behind me. This panel seems to monitor the pressure within the turbines. Only the first one appears to be working correctly.
"75 and 5. Explore the lighthouse, fix the pressure.
Local police apparently suspect the cult has started kidnapping people. It is indeed curious so many people would disappear without leaving a note. Their last ritual site is located near the lighthouse, at the Pointe des Mâles. Might be worth checking out.
So it is kind of sort of open world-ish, where you have this entire village that you can explore as long as you you know, have access to the various places. Like I entered the lighthouse, but there was also a door that I could enter if I had the power breaker for it, and there was that other door that I could enter if I had another item. So I'm guessing that this town becomes more and more open to me the more I explore it. Pointe des Mâles, investigate the place, find the gate's cable box. Okay, so the blue meter is my crystal power thing, and apparently I can only draw my weapon while I'm in combat mode.
Someone left a note for his coworkers. Franck is so fed up that we keep forgetting his birthday that he has set the day and the month as the padlock code. Can someone change that back to the inauguration date? So, what is your code, Frank?
And of course his birth date is the only one that is X'd out. Something 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 in French.
Watchtower schedule and system monitoring. The entire workforce is listed on the board. Something is written here, too. Could anyone pick up Frank's shifts for the upcoming weeks? Nicholas system? That's probably where the town's additional current is monitored. It's a bit much for just a common lighthouse. I can probably restart the system from here once the pressure is fixed.
So I can restart the system from here as soon as turbine 2 is fixed.
So they had to make space for these machines? They do not seem to belong in a lighthouse. Good thing nobody can find them here. It's completely dark in here.
I can't get up there. Seems there is a monitor.
Because of recent events, a lot of circuit breakers were stolen from the electrical gates. While we wait to receive more, we keep the last one inside the equipment locker. In the meantime, don't hesitate to use the same one on different gates.
Single circuit breaker can be used multiple times. So I can't fix the lighthouse right now?
Apparently, multiple people were working here. This door requires electricity. All right, so now I need to fix these colored cables in the right order.
few. So, black, white, yellow, blue. Didn't mean to do that. I love it when I solve a puzzle before I even know it's a puzzle. I mean, I hadn't even checked the gate yet to see if there was a reason to cut the tree. I was just like, hey, a tree I can cut. What's that about?
From the depth of the sea, his anger spreads through our families. This sounds terrifying. Wondering what's that thing they mention all the time.
Some family photos.
Despite the mess the protesters left behind, you're still offering comfort, aren't you?
Didn't mean to do that. I'm just so used to other games having first-person mode being on the triangle button, so I constantly accidentally hit that button.
They love leaving these tape boxes for their propaganda. Listen to us. Join the devoted. Maybe I should listen to it.
T'es mal, Steve.
Dear people of Saint-Exil, this message is for you. I know our local authorities have been breaking their backs, picturing us as fools. Do not listen to this nonsense. Our actions are dedicated to all of you. Once the day comes Those who denied will finally see the truth with their eyes. The distant shall all be remembered. You are all invited to our next ceremony. This Friday, join us in the writing of birthdays from the departed boat. Let's put the world to rights. It's the only way now.
And I got a clue from that? They steal circuit breakers. They write dates of birth on the boats during their ritual. Frank, 19th March 1967.
Frank, the 19th of March, 1967. This is one of the places of contemplation in St. Exel. It was vandalized just before everything went down.
Is that one of the developers? That guy in the middle? Maybe these people are all developers too? Well, whatever the case, let's go back to Frank's logger. Oh, more dates. So resting probably heals me.
is missing here. Should work better with that on.
Electricity. Now I can see what's going on here.
The documents on this desk look much more confidential than the previous ones. This place appears to be a government cell dedicated to recording underwater sound activity off the village. And this has been going on for a while. But I don't see what they're trying to find. They appear to be studying something at the bottom of the sea that is moving at precise coordinates. On April 17th, 1991, they recorded a signal which they define as organic. The signal was recorded on a cassette to be sent urgently to the DGSE because this would jeopardize the military security of the country. But one of the lighthouse maintenance staff apparently stole the tape. They quickly managed to identify him and where he lives. Wait, this is my house.
So the previous owner of my house is the lighthouse manager who stole the tape? Danger, extremely unstable protocol. Only trained, qualified personnel may operate this machine. Press enter to continue. No idea what I'm doing, but seems to be doing fine without me.
Tu m'avais manqué. Tu es mon seul ami. Beau gosse.
So the mystery thickens, and apparently something's hidden at my house. I'm not a fan of the whole "you have to be home before dark" thing, though. I mean, I'm never a fan of time pressure like that. One of the reasons I don't play Majora's Mask very often, despite that I acknowledge that game is great. Broken Pieces by Elsewhere Experience. So now we finally get our title screen. After we have set the mystery in motion. So these military science guys were researching some activity underwater, but we still know nothing about what happened on, with the island itself, whatever these tentacle things are, what those ghost things that are haunting me are. I mean, I'm sure we'll find out soon enough, but again, this whole thing starts in media res. What was that? Like, I'm not really used to video game stories that start in the middle of everything. Like Alan Wake, which is the first thing I think about when I think over the shoulder, shooty bang bang mystery adventure games involving lighthouses, and I mean the back of this game's box even advertises it as being a psychological action thriller, same as Alan Wake did. But like Alan Wake, you started on you had this nightmare sequence where you didn't really know what was going on, other than the fact that you needed to get to the lighthouse, and it acted as a tutorial sequence. But then you woke up in the car on this ferry, and everything was pretty much straightforward. Here in this game, you're just dropped into the thick of it, and I mean, I'm not saying that's a bad thing. Oh, speaking of, I needed a valve in order to lower that bridge, and considering that I just restarted the lighthouse, I hate that sound. considering the fact that I just restarted the lighthouse, and I doubt that I'll need to do that puzzle anymore. I'm gonna go back and check if I can remove the valve. The controls are a bit wonky. The animation while you walk downstairs is, well, you can see for yourself. But and combat, especially combat, is super not intuitive. Like, it's not that it's not intuitive, but it's stiff as hell. Okay, so I can't withdraw the valve. So I'm guessing I'll be needing another valve for the bridge. Yeah, so like the combat is stiff as hell, but I'm sure I'll manage. I mean, I'm going into this game with a positive attitude. Like, I didn't buy this game and decide to play it because I wanna find all of its flaws and berate it and stuff like that. I bought it, you know, not recently, but earlier this year I played the Chant, also on PS5, a really good indie over-the-shoulder horror game like this one. I say horror as we are out in broad daylight, but you know, that too was an over-the-shoulder action adventure game sorta spiel, and you know, I really feel oh, it's the wind because we're going through a tunnel. I really feel a lack of those kind of games nowadays. So I take all of the over-the-shoulder horror adventure games that I can, despite how
This door can be unlocked from the other side.
regardless of how jank they might be. Plus, I'm of I'm of the opinion that you don't need to play the big budget AAA titles in order to in order to have a good story and have a good time and stuff like that. You can play low budget indie games like this and still have a fine experience. I mean, why do we only go out and buy the newest games from Capcom and Nintendo and Square Enix and stuff like that when I've already forgotten their name, but guys like the ones who made this game, you know, small studios, they need love as well. They need attention as well. And sure, something like this may not be, you know, game of the year or anything, but I mean, I'm enjoying myself so far, jank and all, and who knows if these guys, if we buy their games and give them attention and you know, give them money, so to speak, they could grow as a studio and make even better games in the future that rival those of Nintendo and Square Enix and so on. One day these guys might be the next big AAA studio, and it all started with games like this. Okay, so we're back here.
Completely locked.
Don't know the code for that. Someone attacking me from behind? Okay, it's 14 o'clock. If I rest, I'll have 2 hours left.
Oh yeah. Let me catch my breath.
Okay, I don't even recover all of it.
You kneel.
You kneel. So yeah, before I go home, I want to see what's in this direction.
Ahead, Boisseau's Park in the beach. Left, St. Exel's Church. I loved that statue. Well, before the cult vandalized it.
Celine.
The soldiers were perfectly organized and cut off all access. We had almost zero chance of escaping this mass kidnapping. Like sheep in the dark.
Mass kidnapping. Huh. I have have no chance of knowing what order I should do it. It was pure luck the first time. What's down here?
I should keep an eye on the time.
Tu m'avais...
Oh crap. Oh crap. I'm out of time.
T'es mal, style.
I'm very out of time. But it didn't warn me that it would take away from my time if I went that way. Wait.
Tu es mon seul ami.
Ah! Didn't mean to do that.
Ne m'oublie pas. Beau gosse. Sois fort. Et dis à maman et papa d'acheter plus de spécial crabs.
I can still smell the perfume of stamps and papers. But no one will come to pick up the mail tonight. There's one open from this side. Ahead, Boisseau's Park and the beach. Left, St. Exel's Church.
Okay. So that's all there is in this direction. 2 circuit breakers that I don't know the combination for. But I do know that there is something fishy going on at my house. So let's head back.
Now that the town's current is better, I can access the house's attic again.
Oh, right. And I can access something else as well. My favorite game, optional, visit the attic, spy in my house, get to the garage. Okay, if the attic is optional, then I'm gonna go there first. Gaming 101, always do the optional shit first. Where was that again?
Completely locked. It looks like some of Pierre's homemade music for me. I thought it was lost since the moving in. I love that music.
Well, let's hear it. I mean, it's not that he is bad. He's 10 times the musician I'll ever be, but not really my taste. Needs more techno and okay, this bit is actually pretty good, but yeah, needs more techno and needs more what do you call it? More auto-tune. That's the one. Cool detail. She puts on the headphones if you play the music. If you keep playing the music.
Nothing. Full repaint of the arcade, 2,100 francs. I know you love it for real, Pierre. But we are gonna need to have a discussion about it. Calmly.
We're gonna need to have a discussion. Calmly.
My lava lamp. I love it. Pierre probably hid it here, out of reach. Can't believe he'd think it's just a passing trend. Poor guy never understood anything about home decor.
Well, I mean, I had a lava lamp when I was, 15, 16, and I thought it was cool as hell, don't get me wrong, but for one thing, it took ages for the goo inside of it to warm up for the intended lava effect, and secondly, before I knew it, it was, you know, the goo inside was a clumpy mess, and the lamp was kind of ruined. So, and then I decided that okay, I have hereby experienced being the proud owner of a lava lamp, but I'm not, you know, I don't need another one.
This suit. I was in the attic with him when everybody disappeared. I remember wearing it, but we just had one.
Use the razor. Trains? Trains of Rage instead of Streets of Rage.
Honey, I finally finished my restoration project for this arcade machine. And I've got a challenge for you. I know you love a good one, so try to beat my best score. You will win something I'm sure will bring back good memories.
Objective updated. Favorite game optional. Get the highest score at Trains of Rage.
sure I know what it is. I could attach it to my gun. So, help the trains find their destination by switching the direction of the rails.
Guide the trains to the right destination by switching rails orientation.
Trains spawn on the left of the map. The big sign indicates the color of the next train.
Trains spawn on the left of the map. The sign indicates the color of the next train. Ah, so I have to guide the colored trains to the right colored destination.
Bring trains to the station using the same color.
You have to bring the train of the right color to the right station to earn more points.
Don't make travelers angry. If this bar is full, we've lost.
This bar represents angriness. If it is too high, the game is lost. Each time a train reaches the wrong destination or collides with another train, angriness increases. Oh damn.
Oh, sweet! A bonus! I can slow all the trains down every now and then.
Is that the general stop? You can slow all the trains to take the time to think about the situation. You have to wait a little before re-pushing the emergency brake.
There goes the score. Best score. Get ready to leave me a place.
The score is displayed here. Bringing a train to the right station earns 200 points, but if you're wrong it doesn't earn any. Each car that reaches a station is worth 50 points. Okay, let's try. Damn. Next time I'll take the bus. Oh crap! I'm gonna try again. No rescuing that one. Crap! Those two are gonna collide! Crap! Not good.
Come on, come on. Damn it. Yes, take that, beer. Oh, I heard a sound behind the arcade.
Not gonna stop my game right now.
Game?
Damn! That was actually pretty fun. As in, really, really fun.
Damn, you always know how to surprise me.
Grab a laser toy. A laser I can attach to my gun. Huh. improve your gun in the shanty. I believe I will.
Voilà.
Upgrade the gun.
I could attach this laser to my gun, see if that makes me more precise.
Now, let's see what's in here. Secret passage.
Wow, a projector. I thought I would forget its existence with my school years. What is it doing down here?
Lighthouse was used to listen to underwater activities. The overhead projector in his basement can project transparent slides.
I almost never set foot in here. There's gotta be something. What? What is that? I can't believe all this was under the house. What was he doing here?
Explore the basement. No shit.
Wait, isn't it exactly the same gem I have attached on my bracelet? Where did he find it? He was apparently willing to ship it to be analyzed?
power switch to turn press the bypass switch to cancel the effect of the equalizer. Use the dial to change the place. Give me the volume meter change.
Let's shed some light on this.
If you're listening to this, you are probably the person sent by the office to continue my investigation. Well, at least I hope. My name is Matthew Banks, and I started this work about a year ago. As stated in my previous reports, I infiltrated the lighthouse last month, but they just found out that a tape was missing, and I think they're on to me now. I used to borrow tapes during the night, but this time they noticed before I could bring them back. I didn't have time to use the new filtering machine, but I left the tape inside it. I hope it's safe there with you. Since I have to leave, I prepared to wait for you, and I have regrouped all of my ongoing work onto 3 different boards, each including a guiding tape. The first one gathers my studies on the audio signal coming from the oceanic floor, which was the reason our interest was piqued by St. Exel in the first place. The second board will give you more details on the local cult, whose believers call themselves the Devoted. The third board is about Operation White Medusa, which is probably why you're here now. We are now definitely forced to recognize that the village of St. Exel is the center of great political and scientific interest, as we first suspected. I hate to leave like this, but I'm afraid my time has come. During the last 2 weeks, the lighthouse had trouble acquiring new information from ashore. Apparently some kind of technology has been jamming their signal. Is there some kind of expert trying to hack the operation? I'll leave it to you to find out.
Okay.
Passports? Money from different countries? This man was not your usual anybody. Oh. And there's also boat tickets to leave for Plymouth, England. He was planning on leaving. Just wasn't sure when.
He has a machine that allows one to listen to encrypted tapes. He left the region when he was spotted. Collect the spy's documents.
What is this folder? Your next objective. I'll study that during the night. A bit of reading always helps.
Nighttime story. Go to sleep and study the spy's documents. Not so fast. So a lot of different signals from the ocean floor. Signals recorded from different lighthouses. Unknown signal from the abyss.
In 1977, an ultra-low frequency sound was picked up by scientists south of the Atlantic Ocean. But no one succeeded in identifying the structural composition of this acoustic phenomenon, and many theories were put forward. Spy submarine, human aeronautical activities on the surface, or even tests of explosives resonating through the abyss. The case remained closed for 2 years until a second sound was recorded 2,000 kilometers from Namibia. This time, the subject worried specialists. The position of the two recordings suggests the movement of something. In 1984, the sound was picked up again, several times around the Bermuda Triangle. Governments in many countries decided to classify all information about this issue as confidential, and the general public was kept away. While tracking other countries' progress, our secret services discovered in '86 that the French government was particularly interested in the matter, and that they put in motion a special program called Rorqual, a scientific project mainly dedicated to the understanding of unknown oceanic noises. We then decided in 1987, based on what we found in the village of St. Exel, and considering that this last signal was recorded off the coast of French Brittany, that it made perfect sense for me to start our investigation here. During my time, I discovered a platform for listening and monitoring seismic activities at the heart of the lighthouse. Only recently, and thanks to an information trading deal I made with the cult, I got myself recruited there as a maintenance agent. It allowed me to find that the lighthouse crew is, in fact, following the movement of an object which turns out to be a French military submarine. So was it only a submarine that we tracked from the beginning? But its movements are inconsistent. How did it produce this noise that we regularly pick up? I copied a lot of tapes and left them inside the hideout, but they're all still encrypted. I was hoping to get more information from it, but I spotted a car in front of the house tonight, and it's clearer than ever now that my time to leave has come.
So they've been tracking a submarine? I'll hear about the cult first.
In many areas, the life in St. Exel has deteriorated sharply in recent years. Local studies tend to show that nature has adopted an abnormal behavior. Some species started proliferating more than before, while others suffered the opposite effect. Some animals became aggressive towards humans, and some bird species completely migrated and left the region for good. We've also seen a lot of upheaval in the behavior of inhabitants of the village and their health. Ultimately, it led to many people leaving, which left only the ones who didn't have a choice. A real change is taking place, and no one seems to understand where it's coming from. Additionally, these extraordinary happenings have been rumored in the region, which isn't improving the situation. The village has become a place of attraction for people bathed in pseudosciences, esoteric and the occult, to say the least. They now see this place as a central home to their mythology. One movement eventually took over the others and established itself as the popular cult, the Devoted. They managed to obtain this importance by being omnipresent in their protests. They vandalized sites in large areas surrounding the village, which made the local press very keen on showcasing them, and ultimately helped a great deal in converting more people to their cause. According to my research, it is governed by a certain Aurora K. I couldn't find a lot of information regarding her, but managed to steal some pictures by following her after a public meeting with the population. She built her movement on the belief in the existence of an abysmal entity which would sow its harmful influence over the region towards the inhabitants of St. Exel. To calm this underwater entity, they tirelessly seek the culprits for this curse. They unearth and send ashore on deteriorating ships coffins containing the bodies of people who have always lived here. If the boat returns and runs aground on the coast, the person and their family are parted. I haven't seen it yet, but it looks like they've shifted into high gear by sending people who are still alive to sea. These are just rumors, and people who go missing may have simply decided to leave the area. They never communicated their plans with me regarding the future of their protest, and I'm not sure where they'll meet yet. My theory is that they'll probably regroup either near the White Manor or the local church.
It's a pretty big map if that's everything I have to explore. Now, what is this White Medusa thing?
Infiltrating the cell in the heart of the lighthouse made me realize that the French government is very concerned about the development of the situation here in St. Exel. The development of the sect, as well as the growing anomalies observed in the population and nature, are monitored in a sustained manner. They came to realize that if they do not act, this situation will eventually draw the attention of the entire country to St. Exel. I had, in my hands, documents detailing an operation called White Medusa, the purpose of which was to methodically isolate and capture everybody in the village. Do they think that the people here are all sick or contaminated with something? Or do they mean to sweep this affair under the rug? They seem to foresee two possible scenarios for carrying out Operation White Medusa. As if by coincidence, there are incidentally two events which attract almost all the population in the same place. The village festival, which takes place during a whole weekend, or a fair organized by the village school. I was able to reconstruct on the map the assaults considered in each of these possible scenarios. A large number of troops will be deployed, and they can easily prevent anyone from escaping by blocking the main accesses and roads. They will proceed using heavy trucks and toxic gas to control and direct the crowd toward them. The inhabitants of St. Exel have a Damocles sword over their head, but they don't know of its existence, nor when it will fall.
Ominous. So she was wearing that mask in the attic when this attack took place? Okay, so these two switches, this turner thing, and the frequency are the only things I can control. But I still have no idea what to do with it. I mean, I know according to his recording that it that it is used to decrypt tapes, but I don't yet have any tapes to decrypt, so well, let's go to bed and study those spy documents, then maybe the game will autosave. Why is it broad daylight outside? Or rather, why does it look like it? Game autosaves now.
His voice still echoes in my head. I need to know more. Let's find that antenna on the village beach.
Antenna on the village beach?
This tape recorder is helpful during late nights. Don't judge me, Pierre. It's my only way to hear a human voice now. Too early to sleep.
Okay, but the game just autosaved, so I think this is where I'm gonna call it a session for tonight. I didn't quite know what to expect from the game, aside from, as I said earlier, a mystery action thriller over the shoulder, kinda puzzle adventure game, and I'm still not sure what is going on, but that's part of what makes it a mystery. I mean, when I played Control, how much of that game do you really spend just running around the office building, not exactly knowing what is going on or why you are doing it? All you know is that you follow instructions and you battle possessed shadow people. The whole point of a mystery game is that you don't know what is going on, but you try to piece it all together as you go. I still don't know where everyone has gone, except it sounds like they've been kidnapped or whatever. Don't know what all of these shadow people that attack me are about, or where this woman's fiance has gone, but something about tracking a signal underwater. Either way, I'm invested so far. So I'll definitely see this through later. So thank you all so much for watching, everyone who tuned in. I, like I also talked about earlier in the stream, I quite enjoy scouting niche games like this. Instead of playing the newest AAA game or whatever, I enjoy picking up unknown indie games like this that I don't think many have heard of, and see if it's a diamond in the rough, because in this industry of ours, where competition is harsh, and the only games that really get a lot of exposure are the big budget ones, I really do feel that the smaller studios, even if their games are less polished because they lack the money and resources to really polish their games, I really feel that they should get much more exposure so that they can grow. And I say lack of resources. There are countless examples of great 2D indie games. Some of them made by only one person that that are amazing games. And recently there was this game Hi-Fi Rush, which despite praise, I heard that it sold poorly. I think it didn't sell as well as they had hoped, even though everyone praised the game to high heaven. But my point is that most often when you hear about a masterpiece indie game like Cave Story or Celeste or Limbo or whatever, those are 2D games, and maybe they are just easier to make, because whenever I play an indie 3D game, they are often much more glitchy and janky, and feels like a high school project or something like that. But I really, again, to repeat myself, I really feel that these kind of games are that they deserve just as much support from us, the consumers, as the more polished 2D games do, because I feel that 3D third-person adventure games like this, we don't see them as much as we did several years ago, and I still do believe that they have a place in our community. So that's why I enjoy picking up games like this. And again, I am enjoying this game, even if I can clearly see the shortcomings at the seams, and I can see where it needs polish and all of that. But even so, there are still a lot of things to like about a game like this. You know, like I said like I talked about an hour ago, even games that clearly lack polish can be just as enjoyable as AAA big budget games that have taken 5+ years to develop. Games like this can be just as enjoyable as other games, you know. Yeah, I'm just repeating myself now. I apologize for that. It feels like I have already made my point, but at the same time it feels like I have not quite made my point to the fullest, or like I haven't, like I can't find the right words to to fully express exactly what it is that I mean, even though I have already made my point understandable, if you catch my drift. It's kind of like when I reviewed Disaster Report 4 for Switchwatch over on YouTube, where I talked about that the game had its fair share of jank and clearly lacked polish, but that I was still completely able to enjoy it, despite it being a lower budget title. Yeah. Bottom line, things don't need to have a $1 trillion budget behind it in order to be something you can enjoy. And personally, and I've said this a lot of times before, I mean, it is a game first and foremost, of course, so you need to be able to, to control it, to interact with it. Otherwise, you may as well just watch a movie. But for me personally, a good story, depending on the game, of course, a good story is just as important as the gameplay itself. To me at least, because I need motivation. I need a reason to, why am I doing it? Why am I doing this? A reason to drive me forward, And another thing, we don't know very much about this main character, but one of the things that really appealed to me when I bought the game was that you take one look at her and you get the feeling that she is as everyday woman as they come, and as aside from this peculiar looking glowing crystal stone she has around her bracelet, nothing's really special about her, and I find that to be a breath of fresh air, to be honest. Like, she is just an everyday woman. So yeah, I just like that for some reason. Jessie from Control is she stands out because she has this cool fancy leather leather outfit and red hair. I guess is this girl? She's blonde. She's not a redhead. But my point is that this woman's design is so plain. I'm not gonna say boring because that's not my point. But she is plain and so everyday looking that if you put her up against other third-person game main characters, like again Jesse from Control, or Aloy from Horizon, or even the girl from the Chant, this woman I feel wouldn't stand out in any way. And for some reason, I think that's genius. For some reason, I think it's genius that she doesn't really stand out in any particular way. Like, okay, we are making this game, third-person game with a woman as the main character. What can we do to make her stand out against all the other main characters in all the other third-person games that are being made these days? How about we don't? You speak madness. How about we don't make her stand out? How about we make her as plain and ordinary as humanly possible? Sometimes that can be just as genius as going the other way. Anyway, that was really the last thing I wanted to discuss. I find something fascinating about how plain and simple her design is. Like, you take one look at her, and her plainness kind of gives you the impression that that anyone can be a main character in a video game. Like, you could go into your closet right now, put on a pair of jeans, put on a random shirt, and voila, you're a video game protagonist. Like, in a mundane kind of way, I find that thought really, really, really funny. But anyway, enough of me mumbling about my first impressions. Like I said, I'm hooked. I'm gonna continue playing this game at some point. Maybe next time I stream, maybe not. We'll see. But until then, again, thank you to everyone who tuned in. Hope you were at least a little bit entertained, and that you again, my mission is to expose diamonds in the rough, to expose you guys to hidden gems that you may not have discovered yourself, and shedding light and exposing these unknown developers, to give these obscure games the attention they deserve. So to everyone who tuned in, I hope that you were like, huh? What the hell is this game? And that me playing it at least made you somewhat curious. So that you can maybe be like, huh, that game that guy was playing, I want to see more of it. Or maybe you are like, I want to play that myself. Look jank as fuck, but I want to play it myself. And if you thought that, my mission is accomplished. That really is, I may also play more known titles, like, recently I played Forspoken, and everyone has heard about that game for all the wrong reasons, but with this channel, I primarily aim to expose lesser known games that I feel should get more attention. Sometimes I may, because all of these games I play blind, because I want you to get my first impressions. And sometimes the game I pop in may be a piece of shit, and okay, then it's a piece of shit. And other times, like with this game, I may acknowledge that it's not perfect, but still find something to enjoy, and still, legitimately cross my heart and hope to die, be able to recommend it. Or I say recommended. I've only played 2 hours of it. I've barely even touched the surface. But from what I've played up until now, I enjoy it, like I have said a million times by now, and think that you should give it a shot yourself. Okay, that's all for now. Promise. So I'll see you again on the next stream, and remember, we are all heroes.